Good morning, my dear student. Today lecture on CMOS working principle and applications. The term CMOS stands for complementary metal oxide semiconductor. CMOS technology is one of the most popular technology in the computer chip design industry and the broadly used today to form integrated circuit in numerous and varied applications. Today's computer memories, central processing units, and cell phones make use of this technology. Due to several key advantages, this technology makes use of both P channel and channel semiconductor devices. One of the most popular MOSFET technologies available today is the complementary MOS or CMOS technology. This is the dominant semiconductor technology for microprocessor, microcontroller chips, memories like RAM, ROM, EEPROM, and application-specific integrated circuits. CMOS always uses all enhancement mode MOSFETs. The main advantages of the CMOS over NMOS and bipolar technology is the much smaller power dissipation unlike NMOS and bipolar circuits. The complementary MOS circuits has almost no static power dissipation. Power is only dissipated in case the circuit actually switches. This allows integrating more CMOS gates on an IC than in NMOS or bipolar technology, resulting in much better performance. Complementary metal oxide semiconductor transistor consist of P-type as P-type MOS and N-type NMOS. Now we discuss the NMOS. NMOS built on a P-type substrate with N-type source and drain diffuse on it. In NMOS, the majority carriers are electrons, and when a high voltage is applied to the gate, the NMOS will conduct. Similarly, when low voltage is applied to the gate, NMOS will not conduct. NMOS are considered to be faster than PMOS, since the carriers in NMOS, which are electrons, travel twice as fast as holes. This is the symbol for the NMOS. Now we discuss the PMOS. P-channel MOSFET consists of P-type source and drain diffused on an N-type substrate. Majority carriers are holes. When a high voltage is applied to the gate, the PMOS will not conduct. When a low voltage is applied to the gate, PMOS will conduct. The PMOS devices are more immune to noise than NMOS device. Now we discuss the CMOS working principle. In CMOS technology, both N-type P-type transistor are used to design logic functions. The same signal which turns on a transistor of one type is used to turn off a transistor of the other type. That this characteristics allows to design a logic device using N simple switches without the need for the pull-up resistors. In CMOS gates, in CMOS logic gates, a collection of N-type MOSFET is arranged in a pull-down network between the output and the low voltage power supply rail. Instead of the load resistor of NMOS logic gates, CMOS logic gates have a collection of P-type MOSFET in a pull-up network between the output and the higher voltage rail. Thus, if both a P-type and N-type transistor have their gates connected to the same input, the P-type MOSFET will be on. When the P-type MOSFET is off and vice versa, the network are arranged such that the one is on and the other off for any input patterns as shown in the figure. This is the CMOS. You see, this is the pull-up network and this is the pull-down network. This is the NMOS and this is the P. Here you are utilizing the PMOS transistors. Here you are utilizing the NMOS MOSFETs, field effect transistors. This is the output and these are the inputs. This is the ground and this is the VDD. CMOS offers relatively high speed, low power dissipation, high noise margin in both state and will operate over a wide range of source and input voltage provided the source voltage is fixed. Furthermore, for the better understanding of the complementary metal oxide semiconductor working principle, we need to discuss brief about CMOS logic gates as explained below. Now CMOS inverter circuit as shown in the figure, it consists of PMOS and MOS FETs. The input serves as the gate voltage for the both transistors. The NMOS transistor has an input from VSS and PMOS transistor has an input from VDD. The terminal Y is the output and a high voltage is given at the input terminal of A of the inverter. The PMOS becomes open circuit and MOS switch off. So the output will be pulled down to VSS. When a low level voltage is applied to the inverters, the NMOS switched off and PMOS switched on. So the output becomes VDD or the circuit is pulled up to VDD. CMOS inverters working. This is the input. Logic input is 0. Output is VDD means 1. This is the input VDD. Logic input is 1. Output is 0. Logic output is 0. Applications of the inverter. Logic inversion, pulse shaping, oscillators, high input impedance amplifiers, and to design OR gates and other gates. You can design by using, if you want to design the NOR gates. So if you have the OR gate, you can design the NOR gate. These are the other applications of the inverters. CMOS NAND gate. CMOS NAND gate. Here I explain you first static logic example. As an example, consider the static logic implementation of CMOS NAND gate. The below figure shows two input complementary MOS NAND gates. It consists of two series NMOS transistors between output and ground and two parallel PMOS transistors between output and VDD. This is the circuit diagram. These are the PMOS and these are the NMOS. This is the output. PMOS is connected to VDD and NMOS connected to VSS. The circuit implements the logic function. If A and B are both high, the output will be pulled low, whereas if either A or B are low, the output will be pulled high. At all the times, the output is pulled either low or high. Now we discuss the dynamic logic examples of CMOS. Consider now a dynamic logic implementation of the same logic function. The dynamic logic circuit requires two phases. The first phase, when clock is low, is called the setup phase or the pre-charge phase. And the second phase, when clock is high, is called the evolution phase. Dynamic logic has a few potential problems that static logic doesn't. For example, if the clock speed is too slow, the output will decay too quickly. To be used, dynamic logic when properly designed can be over twice as fast as static logic. CMOS NAND gate, if either input A or B is logic 0, at least one of the NMOS transistor will be off, breaking the path from Y to ground. But at least one of the PMOS transistor will be on, creating a path for Y to VDD. Hence the output will be high. If both inputs are high, both of the NMOS transistor will be on, both of the PMOS transistor will be off. Hence the output will be logic low. The truth table of NAND logic gate given like this. CMOS NAND gate, A is 0, B is 0, pull down network is off, pull up network is on, output is high because pull up network is on, means that is output terminal is connected to VDD. That's why we are getting here 1. A is 0, B is 1, pull down network is off, and pull up network again on. Definitely we will get the VDD because output is again connected to VDD. Now A is 1, B is 0, pull down network again off, and pull up network again on. Definitely output is directly here is connected to the VDD. You will get the output is high voltage. When A and B both are 1 1, then definitely pull down network is on and pull up network off. So you can't connect the VDD here, you connect the VSS here, ground voltage here. That's why output is 0 here. NAND gate design using Karnaugh map. All of you know that Karnaugh map, this is the truth table. Here I written on the Karnaugh map. When both are 0 0, output is 1, 0 1, output is 1, 0 1, output is 1, 1 1 is output is 0. Here this is the pull down for this is the pull down case, and you can see this is the pull up case. You can also implement the multiple input NAND gates by using this type of K map, utilizing the K map. Here you can multiple inputs and multiple, this is the NAND gate. Now we discuss CMOS NOR gate. CMOS NOR gate circuit uses 4 MOSFETs just like as the NAND gate, except that its transistors are differently arranged. Instead of 2 parallel sourcing upper transistors connected to VDD and 2 series connected sinking lower transistors connected to ground. The NOR gate uses 2 series connected sourcing transistors and 2 parallel connected sinking transistors like this. Here is 2 transistors are parallel, these 2 transistors are series. As with the NAND gate, transistor Q1 and Q3 work as a complementary pair, as do transistor Q2 and Q4. Each pair is controlled by the single input signal. If either input A or input B are high, at least one of the lower transistor Q3 or Q4 will be saturated. This making the output low. Only in the event of the both inputs being low will both lowest transistors be in cutoff mode and both upper transistors be saturated. The condition necessary for the output to go high. This behavior of course defines the NOR gate logic function. NOR gate design using Karnaugh map. I have written the Karnaugh map output here. 0 0 output is 1, 0 1 output is 0, and 1 0 output is 0, 1 1 output is 0. When both inputs are low, then output is high. That is the main function of the NOR gate. So this once loop, only single loop here, that is for the pull up, and there are 2 loops, that is for the pull down network. Here here we utilizing the NMOS, and here we are utilizing the PMOS. Now with CMOS OR gate, the OR functions may be built up from the basic NOR gate with the addition of an inverter stage on the output. You can see here. Very simple. Advantages: CMOS circuit dissipate less power. CMOS logic consumes over 7 times less power than NMOS, about 1000 times less power than bipolar transistors. High input impedance, output actively drive both ways. Output is pretty much rail to rail. CMOS logic takes very little power. CMOS gates are very simple. Disadvantages: however, just like everything else, CMOS has its own disadvantages. No bipolar, some circuits are not practicable, difficult to implement. Analog circuit, in terms of CMOS technology for implementing vision chips, and disadvantages are as follows. Analog circuit design, leading edge process are not characterized and turned for the analog circuit design, tuned for analog circuit design. Photodetector structure are not characterized in any of the process. It is a designer's responsibility to ensure that the photodetector function as desired. Second order of effect in the scaling process, some second order device characteristics such as sub-threshold operations are usually ignored, paid less attention, and their cancellation is more desired than their improvement. Mismatch in CMOS devices relatively high. This is especially hindering the reliability of the analog processing in vision chips. CMOS applications, computer memories, to design the computer memory, central processing unit, microcontroller, microprocessor, flash memory, RAM memory, ROM memory, read-only memory, EEPROMs, used for design application, integrated circuits, you can also utilize the CMOS as an operational amplifier in case of analog IC. Transmission gate may be used in analog multiplexer. CMOS RF circuit for mixed analog and digital signals. Thank you very much. I hope you will continue my next classes. I believe that you have got a better understanding of this concept. Furthermore, any queries regarding this CMOS concept, please give your valuable suggestions by commenting in the WhatsApp EC final year group. Thank you very much.